And welcome, everybody. We are back for another CBC podcast. This is sort of like your pre-Christmas special. But before we get into it, let me just tell you guys that you're not going to be left hanging for New Year's, as we are doing the first ever CBC Spunky Awards. They're going to be coming at
They were
you.
good.
Oh, yeah. We actually pre-recorded just so I could get it up in time and make sure nothing went wrong, which, coincidentally enough, the weather is bad enough that things would have went wrong today. So we pre-record it. It's going to drop next Saturday on the 30th. We got about 20 awards. It's for fun. Don't take anything too seriously. Besides, well, I won't spoil it, but there's tons of fun we had on there on those awards. So
they've aged very well. Some of them.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Definitely,
well.
definitely. Even though they're a week old, or at least at that point, like 2.5 weeks, they age well. Trust me. So, yeah. With that out of the way, though, this week we are going to have two bonus topics for all the members, and that's recasting Kang and the solution. And is it Doctor Doom? So we'll talk about that for the members. Spoiler alert: it's not Doctor Doom, but join us on the discussion side for that. Yeah, this week, though, we got a lot to talk about. But before we get there, as always, I am the host here, Armin. And as always, I am joined by Mitch.
Merry Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah, it is.
Anyone knows that reference, then well done.
Oh, man.
I think it might be a UK thing only, but I'm not sure.
I might be. I don't know. What do you people in the UK do over there? I'm still wondering.
I know a lot, really. Suffering silence is the key thing.
Well, in the US, we suffer loudly, so there we go.
So he didn't get that from us.
Oh, man. Trust us, guys. Today's going to be a good show. If you've seen the topic rundown, we're going to talk a little Aquaman, a lot Jonathan Majors. We're going to talk a little bit about the X-Men reboot outrage. But before we get to all that, a little housekeeping. We are not going to talk anything about any of the leaks related to anything Insomniac. I debated about putting that as a topic. I'm like, you know what? No, it's out there. Everybody knows it. And it's not a leak that's like, oh, a leaker got their hands on a piece of concept art and put it out and we could talk about it.
No, it's a hack.
It was a breach of privacy, and that is not a respectful thing. Like, so I did 2 videos on it, one on each. I didn't delve into any of the additional details, and that's the last I'm going to talk about it, because the bigger thing with that was like all their personal info, like, you know.
Yeah, there's a weird thing, like, I say weird thing. It's the internet, of course, it's going to happen. But you have people like Greg Miller being like, "Yeah, we're not going to cover these leaks." Right? Good on that kind of funny for not doing that. But you get people going, "Oh, but you covered this, you covered that." It's like, well, here's the thing, right? One was a hack, the other was a leak.
Yeah.
The GTA 6 trailer is someone's kid just being an idiot.
Yeah.
They didn't hack the system; they just throw it out there for clout, right? This is someone like with the intent to blackmail, digging up like people's info and studio plans for the next 10 years or whatever. Right? There is a slight difference in context here. Right? This one is far worse than some random clout chasing kid.
Exactly. So that whole situation, it is what it is. You guys probably already have seen it. We got good Marvel content coming. That's all we're going to say, and get excited for it. So
if I hear one person say an alpha build looks bad, I'm going to scream.
Yeah. Like, I've noticed that people have been convinced when, Microsoft comes out there with a finished version of Halo and puts it into a beta 3 weeks out, they're like, this is an alpha. And people are like, oh, this is what alphas look like. It's no. No.
That's pure marketing alpha.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, things are out there, but we do got a show at hand. So, let's just get straight into what we have here. Although, actually, hold up. Let me just do a little bit more. I will announce that in 2024, somewhere, probably the second or the third weekend, we're going to pre-record another podcast. What we're going to do is look forward to 2024 in a sort of, okay, where are we kind of with this year? Because there is content coming next year, but for once, Sony is driving all the comic book content, and DC and Marvel are sitting back being like, wow, we got nothing. So it's kind of wild. So yeah, we'll do a flash forward show. So you guys can join this week. Me and Mitch, of
That'll be
course.
5 minutes long. We're screwed. There you go.
Yep. We're gonna be dreading this Sony year, but yeah. So if you guys would like more from us, check out the link trees down below. Find all our links where we talk about and post random things and whatever we do. So yeah. With that out of the way, let's just get to the show. So, our first topic. So we are recording this the day before the Aquaman embargo drops, which is the day the film opens up, which is literally unprecedented. This doesn't happen.
I thought it opens on Friday.
Well, Thursday in the US.
Oh yes. The posh O came out of that. Oh,
yeah. See now, we used to have like first showings at midnight, and then 11, and then 10, and 7. Now they're showings at 2:30 p.m. So it's just a normal day now. It's not even early showings. It's just like, it's open now. Like I get at it. So
I say we never used to have the midnight screening stuff, and then they started to do it with a couple of the Marvel ones, and then I haven't seen a single one do it at midnight.
Yeah,
I think Endgame might have been the last one they did at midnight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like it's kind of happened here. They just bump it down to like whenever the earliest, depending on demand is. The whole Aquaman thing is worrying because one, people overseas will have seen the film like 36 hours ahead of reviews dropping, which is, I mean, if that's not a sign of how much they trust it, the whole red carpet premiere, which wasn't an actual red carpet, they invited a bunch of paid off people on Twitter,
a bunch of press and influencers to like a private screening on the lot or whatever. Like, yikes! This is didn't Morbius do not the red carpet bit, but didn't Morbius have the review embargo drop after release?
No, actually, like that dropped like it was about 2 hours before the first international showing, so they were at least kind of aware. But this is nice.
Nice. This is is there anything more fitting for the DCU at this point?
I mean, they literally took it behind WB's shed and put it out of its misery. Like, it's symbolic.
If the rumors are true about that baby, then it's very metaphorical.
What is it with WB and babies this year? There's a Miller, Aquaman. What's happening?
One gets saved, one might die.
Things are happening with the Aquaman films. The whole thing is going into this weekend. The box office numbers as well. They're to say they're tracking.
They're bad. Isn't it lower than the Marvels as well?
So, in some cases, yes. In some cases, no. But again, we're looking at that thing where the low end is so low that the high end is like 60 million above. So it's like the Marvels where you got this giant window of what's going to happen. We don't know. So throw anything out there.
You know things are bad in the industry when even the analysts are kind of like, give it like a 50 mil swing. Who cares?
Yeah.
It'll fall somewhere in there, like, certain of it.
And it's an interesting, I guess, time because like it's the 4th DC film this year. Like
which is wild. No, I think because I've only seen The Flash. I haven't actually clocked that there's been 2 others coming out.
Now,
even though we talked about Blue Beetle a week ago.
Yeah, and also, do you realize what's funny about this? Because when Man of Steel came out, right, which was a decade ago, they promised we would get to the day and age where you would get 3 to 4 DC films a year. How poetic is it that it's 10 years on the decade of its deathbed? It's like, yeah, we got 4 films a year when the universe is dying.
Bless you.
I know.
But I mean, hey, Warner Brothers might not even survive the year, so
I'm like,
ironically started by Man of Steel. Actually, no, you could go further back and say Watchmen started it all, but
yeah. there is a clear path of what started this
Very
downfall.
much, yeah. I won't say who, but
yeah,
was it debuting with 9% of Rotten Tomatoes after a F Star Wars comment? Yeah, that's kind of.
I'm telling you, at this point, first ever negative debut on Rotten Tomatoes is a given. It's gonna happen. They're gonna bend the system to make that a possibility. I know. Yeah. Now there is some people wondering if I'm gonna see Aquaman 2. I got a free ticket. I'm probably gonna
That's the
see
extent of that.
Yeah, yeah. And that might honestly be it. Like, I am not kidding you guys when I say I have never in my life been less excited for anything Aquaman than I am now as a fan. And I've been a fan. I can date it back to the local comic book shop in November of 1998 when I picked up my first Aquaman comic. I know the exact comic. I still have it and everything. And this is the first time.
It's wild to me that you've actually picked out a year. That's crazy. I'd be like, somewhere.
Yeah, I remember that distinctly, picking up my first one, being like, I want to read this. And this is the least I've ever been excited for anything Aquaman. I have, like, it's not even a blip on my radar. I'm like, oh, yeah. So I'll see it, but let my tone infer how excited I am for this film, because I'm not. So, yeah.
Judging by the talk around this movie, which is i.e. none, I think most people would agree.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone going to bat for Aquaman right
now. No. I mean, if you look at social media impressions 3 to 4 days ahead of the release, the Marvels triples Aquaman.
Nice.
I don't like. Sure, a lot of it surrounding the Marvels was whammon, woke, hashtag the Marvels woke, whatever. But still, it was impressions nonetheless. But it's better to have some impressions and people talking about you than nobody talking about you. So,
bad press is good press, or whatever the saying is.
Yeah, exactly. It's no press is bad press unless you did something horrific, which Amber Heard, I guess.
Oh no, but I don't understand what happened. Like, why does no one like Amber Heard? I'd work with Amber Heard again.
Yeah.
Rebel Moon Part 2, the director's cut.
I can't wait.
They're going to need money.
Just wait till they announce like the combined version of both extended cut with additional bonus bridge content. It's gonna be like it's a 9-hour epic, and it still doesn't make sense with Amber Heard as the queen of Meroween, because he'll just rip off Tatooine and add Mera in there because everything's coming up.
It'll be your 4x3 and sepia tone as well.
That's how I'm gonna see Aquaman, because I might take a powerful edible. It's the greatest.
You might die. If you say it's like the first movie, you might die.
If I see that octopus, I'm done.
You mean the best part of the first movie?
That was actually one of my favorite parts. I was like, yes, they got the dumb octopus from the comics I like. Perfect. So, yeah.
Literally the one good moment from that movie.
Yeah. So, everybody stay tuned. Next year, I'll give you guys, because we'll be back for next year because we pre-recorded the show. So, I will give you guys my official funeral highlight of Aquaman 2 and how it was attending it alone in my theater, because
thumbnail's got to be black and white. The video's got to be black and white.
Oh yeah, it's just going to be. It's going to be like the video of Barney Grubble from Simpsons when he dies on the couch, and it's all sad. It's just going to be me with my Aquaman figure just slowly dying on my couch.
I will. Actually, I won't sing that because YouTube would be like, no.
I'm going to play March of the Valkyries, but it's going to be composed by David Zaslav. And so it's going to be amazing. I mean, amazing experience, everybody.
So there's going to be no audio because it got written off for tax reasons.
Exactly.
Nice.
Speaking of other things that aren't related to Aquaman, but tangentially might be, because you got to just cut it off before it gets worse. Jonathan Majors was found guilty and fired within an hour of the verdict. Yep. So where do
Feige had his finger on that button, I tell you.
Oh, Feige was waiting by the red phone in his office. Like, like the phone that only like 3 people have the number to, and it was like, you know, just get ready, and he was ready. So this is a this whole situation. Well, you know, as they say, innocent until proven guilty. We all waited.
Yeah.
We were even talking about it here. We're like, look, we'll talk about it when the verdict is passed, and then what the jury sees and what we get is what it is. And what we saw, the audio, other testimonials, other people that have worked with him, I mean, they voted guilty. He was found guilty. He's standing trial in early February to figure out his sentencing. And
Which, let's be honest, is going to be nothing. He's not going to do time in the slightest.
It's going to be at most being like, I don't know, go sit at home and think about what you did for a day.
Yeah.
You know, like,
give us $3 million. There we go.
Yeah, exactly. Give us a part of that giant earnings paycheck you made from Marvel so far that you're not going to have again. So,
yep,
there you go. So what do you make of this whole situation? Because I'm still seeing people on the other side of it being like, they shouldn't have fired him. I'm like,
yeah, but those are the same people saying from the word go that she's full of crap and she's making stuff up, and that's the same story for every woman that speaks out against something like this.
And
it's
also,
you know, innocent till proven guilty. Oh, this is bullshit. Like, shut up. No, you're never gonna accept that, it one way or another.
And also, I've actively seen people that were like, Marvel needs to fire Brie Larson because of the heinous things she said. Keep Jonathan Majors. Hold up.
Yeah, it's
hold up. The difference here is, I don't know how your brain processes this, but if that's your rational thinking of woman spoke versus man abuses, man is free to do it. We got a problem. So,
not to get political, but it's all right wing people. They're not smart.
It's
obviously not everyone on like the right is, you know, a bad person and dumb as hell, but you get the Trumpians at the minute, and you know they're over here as well at the minute. It's bash your head against the wall.
Yeah,
but it's my way or nothing. If I don't like it, it's bad. It should be illegal. Okay.
Yeah. And
that's the extent we've like fallen to. Is it like cool?
Right. And looking at this whole like scenario, right? Like what was Marvel supposed to do? And I've seen people bring up, but hold up. They hired Josh Brolin and he abused his wife. And also, they remained together for another 9 years and the charges were dropped and they never went to this extent. So like he was never found.
I was gonna say he was never convicted, was he, or anything?
No, never. So like, what were they supposed to do? You know, like it's a different scenario for a different act. I've seen people bring up Robert Downey Jr. It's like, well, he did all that before, and then he got out and was clean, and then an entire studio gambled on him when nobody else would, and he remained clean and still is. So let's not like grasp at nothing here, which some people are clearly doing, which is
there's a difference between happened like 10, 15 years ago and what's happening right now.
Yeah.
You know, and it's their business. Any business is going to be like, yeah, get out of it.
Yeah,
it's just how it works, and it's how it should work. To be honest,
100%. So, look, we'll be back to talk more about the major situation. We just want to cover. He's fired. He was guilty. That's it. That's this part of the conversation. We'll talk more about Kang in just a little bit here. So hold up for that. Let's jump on to the other scoop that hit this week. Allegedly, the X-Men reboot is looking to be a majority female-focused film. Majority of the characters in the film and X-Men will be women. That's the latest report.
Which is going to be funny as all hell because everyone of a certain age and the people who watched X-Men 92 loved like Rogue, Storm, Jean, not so much, Jubilee, you know, all of that. Like everyone loves the X-Men, like the women characters. They're not going to in like 6 months when this comes out, and it's true.
And Also, like, if you look at that X-Men the animated series, half the team is women, half is men. So
Yeah.
if they're to put in, let's say, 4 women and 3 men, Charles Xavier is going to be there, so that's another guy. There's going to be, like, it's what I noticed this rumor took off into is 1 man, 7 women. That's what everybody's pushing. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
that's not what they're going to do. Like, you're going to get Rogue. You're probably going to get Storm, the obvious one. You're going to get Jean Grey, maybe a Jubilee or something, or a Psylocke. On the guy side, guaranteed Cyclops, obviously.
Mm.
And who knows who else they toss in there. But, like, maybe
Oh,
Angel
you'll
and
get
Beast.
Beast.
Yeah, like,
Beast easily.
it's... Why would you be worried about this? It's literally the X-Men. They've always been split down the middle, unless you look at a specific team that's just, the guys go off on their own for a couple missions. So
I don't even think that's ever happened.
they always try to stick them together.
I generally can't, like, even if it's just Scott, you got Jean right there.
Yeah. So this to me just shows
It's such
me
a
that
nothing burger of a thing.
yeah.
Well, it's going to be women in the X-Men movie. You duh. Half the
Mm-hmm.
characters are literally women.
Yeah.
What do you expect? Everyone literally busts a nut over Rogue from the 90s cartoon. There's going to be at least one of them in here.
And also, like, people being, talking about that. I've seen a lot of people being like, they're going to ruin it because I bet you they're not even going to put Rogue in there and they're going to ruin the original X-Men. Rogue was never in the original X-Men. You're thinking of the cartoon and the movie, which a lot of people still think Wolverine is a core member of the X-Men, and he didn't join the team for like a decade. So,
I said this with Jared. I think it was the last time I was on the Nerd Academy. I always consider Wolverine more of an Avenger than anything.
Same. Yeah.
I know he's been on the Avengers in more recent times, as opposed to like prior 2000. But he's an Avenger for me. I can take or leave him on the X-Men.
Yeah, same. Like, if he shows up in the second X-Men film or something to team up with them and cool, but I don't need him on the proper team. Like, no. Man.
Have your cake and eat it. Logan could be the Avengers, Laura can be the X-Men. Done.
Exactly. Yeah.
Done.
Wait a second. Are you pushing for more women on this team of X-Men?
Yes.
I don't want,
because after all, the original 5 X-Men was literally 4 guys and 1 girl.
Yeah.
That's, as that Fantastic Vision meme goes, maybe you are a gay. Right? If all you do is complain about the women.
I want Marvel Studios to have balls and be like, you know what? We're doing it. Cyclops is going to be a woman. What now?
Oh, please. Just literally flip the script.
I would love to see the meltdown would be epic. And I say this as somebody who is a fan of Cyclops. I think it's, let's do it. Just piss people off. I don't care.
Yeah. Like, why at this point, what defines Scott as a man? There's actually nothing. There's no defining trait for Cyclops to be a dude. People are going to go, but Jean, you can have a female Cyclops and Jean Grey.
Yeah, it's the X-Men, and as we've heard, and as it's been very much confirmed by Kevin Feige in a weird way, they're making this X-Men different than any other iteration because it has to be, because they don't want to follow the films, they don't want it to resemble.
Yeah, but that just means it's going to be good.
Well, that too, yeah, because it's a new, fresh take on everything, and hopefully, they go in a interesting direction. It'll be interesting to see what the original or this original team is, because my guess is you need Storm, you need Jean. Like, that's the 2 you need on the team. I don't care what anybody says. Need those 2. So who else would you put on this team? I would personally toss Emma Frost on there, but I don't know about other people.
I'm not a fan of Emma Frost. It's a hot take, I know, but I can take or leave her.
To me, it's specifically Emma Frost, because if you establish her early, her leaving and going and joining like Sebastian Shaw into Hellfire, kind of has a story in there. But then again, I don't know
Yeah,
if they
but there's
want to
only
do that.
two reasons why someone wants Emma Frost on the X-Men team.
That's true. That there's actually people that don't know anything about her. They just want her for the 1-2 reason. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Looking at you, Marv. No, I know you're listening. See, also to me, it's weird. I always think of Emma Frost as being way older than the rest of them.
Oh yeah. Same.
And it's like you have a team of kids, and then this random adult woman walking around in nothing.
I want her to be teaching the school, and she enters the classroom. She's like, "I know what all you guys are thinking," and suddenly just like, "Ah, no."
So, are you a teacher? Like, no, I failed 5 times. Oh, see, I'd have like someone like Armor on there.
Oh
like
yes.
And funny enough, she's like the focus of the Ultimate X-Men now. So
yeah, interesting
synergy. See, I'd get rid of Cyclops as well, but I don't know. I have to think about who I'd want to really focus on.
Mm-hmm.
Throw in Iceman. Bobby's cool.
100% need Iceman. Yeah. Man, tossing Firestar.
Yeah, why not? Let's just do anyone they haven't done yet.
Yeah, Kitty Pryde. I think Kitty needs to be in there. Honestly.
Yeah, Kitty. Yeah, I take Kitty as the leader of it all.
Oh,
Kitty,
nice.
Jean Armor. I'd take that as a core 3.
That'd be great. And then you toss in like a Beast and an Angel, maybe a Cyclops. I don't know, and Jean. Like, I think you need a team of at least 6, maybe 7, and you got a good.
I like 6 as a number. Like, you guys, it's what the Avengers started with. It's
yeah.
See, with the Guardians 6 as well. Quill, come on, Rocket. No, they were 5.
What a fake fan! Everybody, you hear Mitch? He's a phony. That's 2 weeks in a row. He's
failed
a phony.
math twice. I failed math twice. I can't count.
This is why I'm going to keep showing up in Emma Frost's class. I just keep purposely failing.
Yeah, that's why you're showing up. Yeah,
that's why. 1 + 1 is 2. That's the only thing I can add up for Emma.
No, the only character development she's got in like the last decade is marrying Tony Stark for whatever reason.
Yeah. I eventually want them to get to the point where all these characters are, obviously integrated into the MCU. I want the, her offspring, technically. I want the Cuckoos in there, all 3 of them. That'd be nice.
Ah, yes, the Cuckoos. I like the Cuckoos. Yeah,
I'm a fan of them.
Weren't they in?
They were in the.
What was that show? That's
Gifted.
the one. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That was probably the most accurate characters Fox got in their entire run of X-Men was the Cuckoos. Like, I was like, wow, they got everything correct from the comics. They finish each other's sentences. They look at each other. Their eyes glow in unison. I was like, what is this? How did they get this so accurate?
And then there's poor Polaris just standing there being a Scarlet Witch knockoff.
Yeah.
So that's not Polaris. You just made Green Wonder. In fairness, she uses the Green Wonder, but that's not.
Yeah. Man, I want Polaris in this too. I like that character. So, yeah.
I want most of them, to be honest.
True. Yeah.
Focus on a different core team, and then work your way out from there.
Yeah. I agree.
Because you all know it's going to be like 8 shows and 12 movies.
I hope so. Give me X-Men, X-Force, X-Task. I don't care what you're doing. Just give me more X-Men. Yeah.
Give me X-Men Red, X-Men Blue, X-Men Gold, X-Men Silver.
Legit,
X-Men
though.
Diamond, X-Men Pearl. X-Men Black, X-Men White. X-Men X, X-Men Y.
X-Men Ruby, Sapphire.
I can't believe I forgot Ruby and Sapphire. God damn.
I'll take them all. And I want all of them. All of them must outweigh the men 70-30. That's the ratio. Yeah. Easily. Yeah. Okay, I want to ask you this, though. How long before the X-Men introduces in the MCU a trans character and everybody starts talking about how woke the X-Men are?
Oh, you mean Mystique? 6 seconds.
No, you spoiled my punchline. You spoiled my punchline. Because that's Mystique, everybody. Woo! Yep. So
I love that she's the mummy and the daddy to Kurt now. I think it's
Yep.
glorious.
What a twist.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who'd have thought this shapeshifter can shapeshift into a guy and do all the stuff?
Kevin Feige realized the
because it's
reboot of
comics.
X-Men. Yeah. Like, and Feige realized the reboot of X-Men is coming. He's like, all right, I got to distance myself from Fox. Azazel, you get the boot out of this relationship. Get out
Here's
of
the
here.
thing. He hasn't. They're having their cake and eat it. Because the whole thing of Mystique can, she's like a scroll. She can change like everything down to the DNA. Like Azazel is still technically the dad and the reason why Kurt looks like he does.
True.
He's just not one of the parents. He's a biological parent. He's just not a parent.
X-Men comics, everybody. X-Men.
Yeah. You can have 3 parents and be a perfectly normal person.
So, I mean, look, we'll see what Marvel does. We just wanted to talk a little bit about X-Men. I'm fine with more female leads because, and like my top 5 X-Men, my top 3 are females, so that's cool. All right.
That's literally everyone's top 5 X-Men.
Yeah, honestly, it's got to be, right? Like,
yeah. If you got Cyclops as number 1, you might have something wrong with you.
You might have some sort of brain damage.
Yeah, there's something ain't right there. But
Cyclops got good when he followed in Magneto's footsteps. That's when he got good.
So Cyclops got good when he wasn't Cyclops.
Gotcha. Yes, that's exactly.
Yeah.
So that's telling, right? That's very telling.
Copy this other character that's always wrong. Cool, guy.
So there we go, everybody. We'll talk more about the X-Men when we hear news soon. Let's now talk about Avengers the blank, because
Avengers 5.
Avengers 5, everybody. According to reports, ever since they started to work on the new drafts for Avengers 5, obviously, new director, a new writer, obviously, they just got him. Hey, it's no longer the Kang Dynasty. It's kind of like they saw it coming, right? They were like,
yeah, I think they did. I think you kind of had to at this point, but I don't think it's for me it's slightly worrying. It's like, please don't do Doom. Just
same. Yeah.
But I think it's just smart, if you can make it a bit ambiguous as to who it is and what's going on. And I think you're just playing it smart. Like, why write 1,000 scripts for every outcome when you can just maybe do one?
Yeah. And
it's not like Marvel doesn't change their scripts anyway in production, so
right. And like, let's say that they want to take a little longer to establish Kang and don't want Avengers 5 to be Kang Dynasty, right? Why not make Avengers 5 Avengers Assembled or Avengers Reassembled or something, right? And
can't be assembled because that was the first one in the UK.
I realized that when I said that. I was like, hold up, that was an international, and that would get confusing. So the same reason they can't make Captain Marvel 2, because in half the international territories, the Marvels was called Captain Marvel 2. Oh,
was it actually?
It was, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
The posters and all had it Captain Marvel 2 on them. Like, it's weird. So, I mean, like Avengers 5, honestly, I think should be something that it's got to reunite the Avengers and put the focus on, hey, Secret Wars is coming. Do they maybe take Doctor Strange, put him center stage with the ending of Doctor Strange 2 instead of going straight to Doctor Strange 3 and make that sort of a focus because you got to deal with Kang, but I don't know if you do it in this standalone film. Do you like kind of backwards into it or do you just write him out? Like, this whole Avengers 5 scenario.
I don't think you can write him out. I think
for
the sake of it, you need to at least address it in the first 20 minutes of the film.
Yep. Yeah.
And I still said it when the show ended, I'd focus it on Loki.
Yeah.
Loki's in the perfect spot to be the focal point of these 2 movies.
Yeah.
And being where he is very much a case of like the Kangs are going to know about that. They're not going to be happy about a Kang not being there. Or even if a Kang's not there, they're going to at least know because He Who Remains told everyone that he's the reason they're all being held back. So something you can do something with that. and I think that's the route you should take it. But
Mm-hmm.
we'll see. Also, it's Michael Waldron, right? You know, he had a hand in Loki, so just follow off from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Like, some people are making this seem like Avengers 5 is dead. It's like, no. Come on, guys. Like,
No, it's gonna happen. It will happen.
look, and here's what I want to use to prove to everybody that you thinking an actor is gone and them having to pivot hard is going to ruin everything. Marvel Studios and Sony, we know for a fact Kraven was set to be the villain after Far From Home. After that whole fallout, Spider-Man was gone and they were still moving forward. And then they worked out a deal and Sony demanded we take part in the multiverse. And Marvel said, yeah, let's do it. And then we got No Way Home. And what exactly, stopped it from happening? Nothing. They made it work. They're going to make this work. People, I think, are looking at, Marvel doom and gloom post Endgame. That means Avengers is dead. What?
Yeah.
Like, by that logic, okay, Rise of Skywalker, it made over $1 billion, but it's a failure, I guess. So no more Star Wars, right? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
I mean, if it's with Star Wars, they announce a movie and then it gets cancelled. But
well, at least
that's more of a JPEG thing. That wasn't necessarily just a Lucasfilm thing. But even so, it didn't look good at the time. It still doesn't look good now. But it's yeah. I don't see why they would A, get away from Kang, and B, drop this movie entirely. Like, if that Variety article didn't come out, no one would say otherwise. Everyone would be like, cool, just recast him. Here's this actor. Now we have this argument and this split, and it's really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a situation. But hey, it's not like Marvel didn't have two actors play Thanos at one point.
Exactly.
It's slightly different context, but we had an actor for Thanos in Avengers 1 that wasn't Brolin. Just keeping tradition.
And also, like, think about let's say they delay Avengers 5, which they might. Who knows? I mean, it's definitely
it's been delayed.
Exactly.
So, who cares at this point?
Right. So, like, how do you handle the messaging? What's going to happen? Like, what do you do with this whole scenario? And also, let's say there were to pivot from Kang in this, right? And Doctor Doom is not allowed in part of this discussion. Who do you pivot to, realistically?
I think there are several people you can pivot to. I think my favorite one that someone suggested that isn't me so far. I know, very, oh, I'm so wonderful. But my favorite idea so far is the Maker. My only problem with that, though, is the Fantastic Four are literally coming into this universe the movie before.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just jumping the shark at that point, and I don't like that. Like, if it was a case of we're 2 movies into the Fantastic Four, yeah, cool. Maybe do the Maker at that point, but after the introduction, no. But apart from that, I think if the rumors are true and that Kang was going to be or the Beyonder was going to be a version of Kang, just do the Beyonder.
Yeah.
Just slightly change it that way. If not, you could always do the Living Tribunal.
Yes.
And work something with that in there. Like, just go crazy with it. No.
Yeah. It's honestly,
or even a Celestials. Just do something with the weird space stuff. It's right there.
I mean, Celestials. You could. That's that's a way to work it in there. Honestly,
or you can fall back and you really nostalgia bait for what's going to be like 8 years ago at this point, because we're already 5 years out from it. Just say like a version of Thanos did another snap and it was worse, because our Thanos did a snap and it shattered the timeline.
Did you guys know that a version of Kang the Conqueror is Thanos who conquered everything? Oh,
Done. There you go.
Oh man!
You just have a Kane come out, and it's just a re-edited version of Thanos' entrance on Earth from Infinity War.
The post-credit scene to Deadpool 3 is just they took the Age of Ultron, fine, I'll do it myself, and they just like AI deep faked. Fine, I'll multiverse them myself. He reaches for like some sort of multiverse device. It's like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, there you go, done.
Honestly, whatever they do, fine. I'm here for the ride. Look, if the DCEU can survive 10 years, one failure after another, and put out 4 films in their final year, the MCU is going to be fine by having a little stumble on Avengers.
Yeah, the MCU can survive an actor.
An actor.
It's totally fine. At the end of the day, he's just an actor.
Yeah.
If they were that worried about future plans from losing an actor, they wouldn't have fired him within minutes.
Exactly. Yep.
Yep. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree with all that. So
movies are bigger than the sum of their parts, unfortunately.
Yeah. So it's like they're just gonna keep on moving. They had a new writer. I wouldn't be surprised if this year or maybe next year. Well, this year's D23, isn't it? 'Cause they didn't have a last this year. Yeah. Huh.
Yes, yeah.
All right. So let's either this year San Diego or D23. They're gonna announce the new title of Avengers. I'm gonna guess like that's got to be a guarantee, right?
I'd assume so. I mean, I think Feige's got to come out and like grovel to everyone.
Yeah.
Comic Con. I'm sorry. Here's what really went down in the last 4 years. Just Chapek's face on the screen. Like, bang.
Kevin Feige's going to come out on that stage, and now he likes to like raise his hand and show stuff. He's going to show that Variety article with a target on it. And being like, let me systematically...
killed off. I mean, what? Oh, there you go. Dan.
I'm systematically going to read this sentence by sentence and debunk it all in real time in San Diego Comic-Con.
This is partly true, but it's warped out of context.
When you said somebody suggested Robert Downey Jr., yes, that was Bob JPEG, and we kicked him out the door.
Just like, funnily enough, we were making a movie called Secret Wars, and yes, these people would have come back.
Yeah.
Why is it such a shock and a horror? I know people haven't read Secret Wars ever, but that's a thing that happened. And yes, D23 is on August 9th to the 11th, 24. Is that a high?
Oh, well, there we go. So, all right. That's when we're going to get answers because it's literally like 2 weeks after San Diego Comic-Con or something. So it's going to be a rapid fire like last time when they did this. So,
didn't they pull out of Comic-Con though?
I know they did it last year, but everybody pulled out last year. So,
yeah.
And there's been no announcement for this year for 2024. So, I guess
maybe
we'll
Comic-Con's gone the way of E3 finally.
One could hope. Could hope. So we'll find out soon enough. So, I guess that's brought us to the end of this show. We only got 4 topics this week, but we do have 2 members topics coming up, everybody. And also we at least wanted to get a podcast out here for you guys. So,
it was a nice Christmassy one. There you go.
Yeah. All sorts of great Christmas givings and things.
Yeah.
So,
like verdicts on abusers.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's what I asked Santa for. Yeah.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed this show, and thank you for joining us this week and next week, since again we did pre-record it. And thank you for listening this whole year, and we'll catch you guys officially with the next one.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the 3 shows we did this year.
Yeah. Woo! All 3 in the last month, it feels like. It's been so barren.
I mean, it is 3 in the last month, essentially.
Yeah.
It's the longest streak we've had all year.
Yeah, it is. It's been so
saving the best for last.
Crazy. So we'll be back in 2024 and look forward to our 2024 hype up show and Aquaman post-mortem, which will be in the first episode of next year. And
it got filleted there. No.
Oh, yeah. So stay tuned, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And everybody, happy holidays, happy new year. And I don't know, go get upset about women in the X-Men for whatever reason.
Remember, Christmas is woke as well.
Whoa! Craziness. Later, everybody.